spontaneous Watch Me Viz. I'm your host, Andy Kriebel. I run a program called Next Level Tableau, which is the best way that you can learn and become an expert at Tableau. It's the only program that includes over 140 hours of live training with me, along with office hours, a vibrant community, and so on. And also, there's over 130 on-demand tutorials for you. But that's not why I'm here. I am here to show you how I am going to explore Makeover Monday, week 20. So this week, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, and I'll also look at the chat here. So if you have any comments along the way, feel free to leave them in the chat. I know nobody's on yet. That's okay, because I just sprung this on you. All right, so the article we're looking at is this one here that shows that French people are losing confidence in the Paris Olympics. And the two charts we're going to make over are these two right here. Very simple. I think they're very well designed. We have the current value, and then it decreases to the, we have the previous value, and then it increases down to the, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. All right. Okay, let me have a quick look. Sorry, just getting a message from trying to call me while I am on the live stream. The only thing I don't like about this visualization here, okay. That I don't is this isn't necessarily true. So it says that the difference between December 2020 and July 2023. I think it would be good to maybe color code these values so that I know the 78% is December 2023. I mean, it's implicit, but I think it would be better if it was more obvious. That's one of the things I'm going to be looking at. Okay, so the data set itself, I'm going to just let me flip over to Tableau here, and I'm going to just drag the data set into the view to connect to it. And the data set's pretty simple. We have these different categories, and then these are the types. So the types, I believe, align with these two questions, right? So we've got basically two charts. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on one chart, and if I like it, I'll expand to the others. What I don't like is that these values now, so this should be a whole number for one. But notice how we now get nulls for the under 35 and over 50. So let me switch that back to decimal, right? Okay, so we're getting decimals there. Okay, that's fine. But those are rounded, so that's very interesting. So what are we looking at? 77 under 35. So 77 point. Okay, so they rounded the numbers, which is easy enough for us to do in Tableau. So we've got these two time periods, and we're going to just compare those. All right. So let's get started here. Now, I am going to refer back to this guide that I created a while back that is available on LinkedIn. If you just search for it, I think you'll be able to find it, but it's also on my website. So we're just going to actually just go through each of these charts, and I'll show you how to build each of these. So we're going to start with a simple paired bar chart. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to filter down to one of these questions for now, just so we can see a bit better. We'll just create one of them. So I've got the category, the over 35s, and I probably should go ahead and set the default sort for these because they need to have probably a specific order. I'm going to try to match what's in the original. So under 35, over 50. Okay, so I'm going to sort these manually. So we've got under 35, over 50. And then we have working class and overall. Now, they're not sorted in any particular order. Okay. Working class and then overall support. We could probably sort them. That might be the best way to do it. But for now, I'll just leave them in the same order. And then tourist, France, economic employment. Tourist, France, economic employment. Okay, so there we go. So now those values are there. And so I want to compare the December 2020 value to the July of 2023. Now I want to create this as a paired bar chart. So let me switch back over to Canva. We want to do this paired bar chart. So very simple. I'm going to actually rename this to be December 2023. And then this one, rename July. Oh, wait, that's not right. I think it was December 2020. Right. So rename December 2020. Rename. And then this one would be, let's rename this one July 2023. Okay, something like that. And I'll go ahead and put measure names onto color so that we can assign each of these a distinct color. And we have the values. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm just going to set some default colors here. So I'll use some of my next level Tableau colors. I will use, let's say we'll use this, we'll go like this, something like this. We'll use two different kind of shades of bluish green. That does not look great. So I will not use those two. Let's maybe use an orange and a blue. Okay, still not great, but anyway, we'll leave it like that for now. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I would do there. And let's go ahead and turn on the mark labels. Oh, we need to format these. So I'm going to change the data type for both of these to be a decimal. And then I need them both to look like percentages. So I'm going to set the default number format. I'm going to set it to 0 decimals and then percentage. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to left align these numbers. And let's make them nice and big, right? Something like that. And maybe bold. And there we go. So we've got that first chart done. So let me go ahead and hide the header. And that's what this first one would look like. I would probably, yeah, so let's see here. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so that's number one. This is our paired bar chart. All right, and then the next one is a bar in bar. So let's just duplicate that sheet. I'm going to put one bar inside the other. So to do that, I'm going to take the previous chart and I'm going to move measure names to size. And then I'll put one inside the other. But I want to go ahead and turn off the stacking so they both start at 0. And I want to reverse them because I want to have July inside of December. All right, so we get something like that. So let me just make these a bit bigger so you can see them a bit better. I'll adjust the colors, or sorry, the sizes. Let's see, so we're going to do maybe something like that. Let's hit apply and see what that looks like. Okay, that's pretty good. And let's see, so let's go ahead and turn the mark labels on and allow overlap. But I'm going to set them to be automatic for their location. Okay, so we get something like that. Still not spectacular, but you know, that's okay. So this is our bar in bar. So I create all of these so that I can then understand or make a choice of which ones I like the best. All right, so the next one's really neat. So this is one of my favorites. So I'm going to duplicate this one, and I want to add a third measure. That is the variance between the two. So I'm going to add like a little line here. So if we look here, we've got a little line showing the difference. I'm going to go ahead and put measure names onto label as well. And let's put the value onto the label. All right, and let's go in here. We're going to do measure names and then measure values. Right, so we get something like that. But I want to add that variance bar. So to do that, I'm going to take my my December 2020 value, and I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to add that as a secondary axis. But on this secondary axis, so let's go to what happened there? That didn't work. Let's drag it up. There we go. Why is it not working? The dual axis. That happened to me the other day too. What the heck? Let's make it a dual axis. That's so strange. Synchronize. And I want to make this one a bar. And then this one I'm going to make a, let's make it a Gantt bar. Gantt bar. But I want to, oh gosh, how do I do this again? I think, how do I do this again? Oh, I'm trying to remember how to do this. Because we need 3 measures here. Is it? No, that's not right. I need to add another row here. So if we look back over at this one here, we've got the 2 rows and then that one. So I want to shoot, how do I do that again? Do I remove measure name? No, I don't want to do that because that then overlaps them. Let me try putting measure names onto, no, let me put this measure value onto detail. Okay, and then I'm going to, can I hide this one? Font type, int bar. No, that's not what I want. But I don't want that. Oh gosh, how the heck do I do this again? Because this gives me my 3 columns, which is what I want. Oh, I need to look it up because I don't remember how to do it. And so let's call this, let's go to bar chart with variance. And I'm pretty sure this should help me find it. Let's see how good the search is on my blog. That's not it. And let me just search for int bar. Okay, yeah, this is it here. Oh, but I don't necessarily show how to do that. I know I have a tutorial somewhere, so here's another one where I do it. Here we go. This is what I want. Okay, so I'm going to just flip through the video. This is kind of meta showing. Okay, so I put, okay, so that's the way I want it. But then measure name, okay, measure values. Right, so that's the way I want it. We want to make this a dual axis. And then this one is going to synchronize, and this one's going to be a Gantt bar. Okay, but I don't want, so this one, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we're good. So then I need to create a calculated field that is my, where'd my calculated field go? It's over here. Let's call this our change. And it's just going to be, we want to take December 2020 minus July. And I'm going to drag that onto the size shelf. And you'll see, oh, that's backwards. So I need to put July of 2020 here. There we go. What happened there? Let me just switch this calculation around. Why did that? That's very strange. Okay. I'll just call this, yeah, so I need to just swap these around. Minus December 2020. There we go. So now we can see that there, and I'll make this a thinner. I don't want that on size. Yeah, I did want it on size, but I want to make it thin. So we get something like that. And then on this one, I want to put the change on the label, but I believe the label's minus 11%. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So then I want to default properties, number format. Let's make that number custom, then percentage, something like that. I should be able to move it to the right, but I think I like it better on the left because then it shows the decline. Okay, so that's another way that I could do that. So this is what do we call this one? Bar chart, paired bar chart with variance. All right, and now we want to look at, well, we don't have any time series, so we can't do a line chart. Let's look at a slope graph. All right, so we're going to, again, we're going to filter to, wrong one. We're going to filter to the type. And we want to bring December 2020 here, July on the same axis. Oh, I need to flip them around. I'm going to make this a line and drag the category onto detail. And we get our slope graph. Okay, let me do that. And if I now move my type here, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so this isn't great. That doesn't really tell me much. Slope graph. And then we have a barbell chart. Okay, so the barbell should be interesting. So let's again look at this. And we want to drag category here, December here, July on the same axis, make them circles. I know I'm going fast. I'm just trying to create this barbell chart. I'm going to move measure names to color. And I'm going to duplicate measure names. And then on this shelf, I'm going to make it a line, move measure names to path. And then let's make it a dual axis and synchronize and move those to the back. Okay, and then I would probably zoom in on the axis as well. So let's untick include 0. And there we go. All right, so measure values. I could always set the default number format. So number custom and percentage. There we go. Okay, so that gives us, if I look back over at the article, where are we here? Where am I looking? I don't even know where my tab is. Okay, I don't want that one. Oops. Yeah. Where was I looking? This here. Okay, so that gives us those values there. All right, so that's fine. And then we could color code this line by the change. So if I put that on color, you'll see we get these multiple colors, but I'm just going to make this a 2-color palette. So I'm going to make it diverging, orange, blue, diverging. And I don't need it to be reversed. I'm going to set the center to 0. That way I get 2 colors. And on the left side, that's going to be my July of 2023 color. And then my right side is going to be the orange color, which I think is this one. That's good enough. Okay, so it basically shows you that all of them have declined. Now you could change the line type to be maybe, why is that not working? Why is it not letting me change the path? Look at that. What the hell? See that? It should allow me to create a dotted line. Great. What the hell? It's not letting me create dotted lines. That's pretty dumb. Switch it back to a line. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to report that bug because that is very annoying. I should be able to pick a different line pattern. None of these are actually working. Great. All right, I shall report that bug. All right, but maybe let's try to, so this is our barbell. Let's see what other ones we can, I'm gonna eventually try to reproduce the original. So floating bar, so that's similar to this one, except I'm only going to have December 2023. And let's get rid of that. I'm gonna make this a Gantt bar. And I'm gonna put my change on size. So this gets us back to kind of like the view we had before. All right, so these are my floating bars. Okay, so basically the same chart, just one is floating and one is not. And then what other options do we have? Let's go here. Don't forget, you can leave comments if you have anything you'd like to add. Oh, comment chart, that should be a good one. Okay. So let's see. Again, we're going to filter by type and category on the rows. All right, so we want to do December 2020, July 2020. So again, our dual axis, we're going to make it a line, drag measure names to path. And then I'm going to also put measure names on size. So let's check include 0, make this a bit bigger. Oops, I want to do that. Let me go in between them. And then if I click on size, this will adjust the sizes to make them look like comments. And we could put change on color, and we get something like that. So that's our comment chart. Comment. All right, what else do we have? Scatter plot. I don't think a scatter plot's going to work, but well, it might. Let's try that versus that. And we'll put category onto detail and type onto detail. And then let's go ahead and uncheck include 0. All right, so I'm going to actually flip these around so December's on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 45-degree line. So this one, I'm going to, I want to get rid of everything. So it's going to just give me one mark. And I'm going to bring a trend line onto the linear trend line for December 2020. That's not right. Oh, wait, I need to make it a dual axis. And then synchronize. There's a trend line, not what I want. I want to have no, I think I want to just have detail. Okay, that should have given me a perfectly straight line. December versus December. I'm doing something wrong here. Because usually I put a trend line on. Maybe it's that one. No, that's not it. I think I'm doing it the wrong way around. Let me try analysis. I'm going to disaggregate the data first. Let's put this one here. And if I now make this a dual axis and synchronize, so I should just get a straight line for those. And if I go here and drag on a trend line for July, there we go. Okay, so I need to, so this basically shows everything as a decline. Okay. Right, so let's not do that then. That doesn't really work very well. So, okay, so this is just our scatter plot. But what might be interesting is let's see if we can make these. So what value is this? That's under 35. Working class. How can I do this? What I want to do is I want to make it a line. Let me just filter to one type for now. And I make it a line, and I'm going to go measure names to the path. Okay, yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, so we're not going to do that. So we got our scatter plot. Now the heat map, I don't know if that will work or not. So let's make this, no, because the heat map would have to have 2 dimensions. So that's not going to work as well. Okay, and that's diverging bar chart. We don't really need that. Well, we could do that. So let me go back here. Let me delete this one. And if I duplicate this sheet, and let's go here, drag this to the right. And I'm going to take, I want to make this a dual axis instead. No. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm going to go back to where I was. Let's get rid of that. But I'm going to make the December value a negative. And that makes it a diverging bar chart, but it's not. Yeah, it's not very useful. Okay, so we won't use that one. Now the last one I want to do is let's duplicate this sheet. And I'll just call this original. And instead of having these as circles, I'm going to put maybe measure names onto. Let's make it a shape instead. And let's put measure names onto shape. And we want December of 2020. So in the original, let's go back here to Chrome. The original, there's nothing on the end of the line. Okay, but we can fix that. Let's make December a circle, and we'll make July an arrow. Okay, and we want to get rid of color here. And this gives us kind of the original, right? It looks like it gives us the original. I'm going to put maybe, let's move type to here then so we can get the two splits. So this gives us everything in one chart. We could move the header above. Okay, so let's undo that. So we get something like that. Now what I could do is if I go here and I put measure names onto size as well, you'll see now I can almost make that circle disappear. So let me just drag the size down as small as it will go. And now I've got that arrow like they do. So I think that one looks pretty neat. But again, I thought to get my, oh, see, now we can do it. Why the heck can we now create the dotted lines? So yeah, so that's one alternative. I kind of like that one. And what they've done is they've put, okay, so let's see if we put the labels on. But the problem now is the line. Okay, so this one, I'm going to just put the value at the max values. Okay, so this is just going to be on the right-hand side. And then for the line, I'm going to turn on the values. But I'm going to only show the min value. Let's see if I do just the min. Let's make this measure values. For each line. There we go. Okay, so that now shows us the end as well. All right, so let's open up our shape shelf. No, not shape, we want to open up size. And we want to make the biggest one smaller. Okay, something like that. All right. And let's go here and label, and let's maybe move the label to the left. Does that do anything? No. Okay, because then we can, I don't know if we should hide the headers, make it like theirs is 50. So it looks like theirs goes from about 45 tick marks fixed, 45 to 95. And then 45 ticker bull. No, we want to have the origin start at 50. Ticker interval is 10. And then in the general, I want to set this to go from 45 to 95. Okay, something like that. And then they have an axis. Okay, so they do not have a title. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Let's get rid of the title. But I'm going to hide this axis. Okay, so we get something like that. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to get rid of the size. And well, I'd ask you which one you like better, but there's only a couple of you on the live stream. I think that I like this one better, with the circles or without the circles. With the circles, without the circles. Let's see. Tough call. All right, let me just, let's make these a bit bigger. Yes, maybe if we did it like that, let's just play around with the sizes a bit. Okay, yeah, maybe something like that. All right, I like that one. So we're gonna go with that. All right, so now we're gonna just kind of reproduce this visualization with circles. Okay, thanks, Stephen. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I could hide the header, and then let's go ahead and clean this up. So let's format this view. Okay, we don't want any row dividers or column dividers. We do want, okay, they have this nice little zero line going through the middle, but I don't think I can do that. Let me try. Because I think that's just going to give us a scatter plot. Let's make this fit with, okay, yeah, that works. But I can now hide that header and I can make these. Okay, so that gives us that. And then 50, 67. Okay, so let's go to the grid lines. We're going to set our column grid lines to be a bit more obvious. Okay, something like that. I think that's what they have. Maybe let's make them a bit thicker. There we go. Something like that. Okay, so that's kind of the original. Let's expand this out. Okay, I think that's good. Maybe actually, I think these grid lines should not be as thick. All right, great. So that gives us those values. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and format my workbook because I don't like the Teplo font. I'm going to use my latest font that I like is called Now. Not sure how I found that one, but I like the look of it. Okay, so that's good. I think that's okay. Why do we have labels on here? Okay, so okay, so on my, do I have my labels on at minimum? Okay, so I want to undo that. But on this one, my label is going to be my field measure values. I only want to show the max, and I want it to be to the right and then centered like that. Okay, so I think that's good. All right. Okay, so now this is, which one? This is type 2. Actually, why don't I just write out the question? Rename are in favor of okay, and then let's duplicate this, and then this time we're gonna edit the filter, make this one, that one. Okay, and then this would be believe it gets okay. So let's go in here, edit the aliases, and I'm just gonna copy this so I can use it for my title. Okay. All right. So I think we're good to go there. So on this label, so which one is this? That's the circles. Okay, so I'm going to go to this one, and in the label, let's see. So I want to put July 2023 on the label, but then in here, I want to add in a couple spaces so we can get it off the edge. Okay, that didn't work, did it? Let's apply that. Okay. Well, that's interesting. All right, anyway, so let's get rid of that. Hit undo. Okay, let's make the labels nice and big. Let's make these maybe, I don't know, 11. Alignment is center vertical. Nope, that's not right. Okay. No, let's undo that. Okay, now my labels, I'm going to have them match the mark color and make them bold. And then let's do the same thing here. Match the mark color and bold. And then let's maybe make the labels 10. Yeah, that's better. All right. So now, should I use a negative color? Okay, so let's go here and let's choose maybe red. Let's see what color. Black. No, I don't want black. I could just do orange. Keep it nice and simple. Or purple. Which color do you like? With circles. Good morning from Chicago. France will be fine. The Olympics are more about the pageantry rather than the athletes. Yeah, totally agree. Okay, or I just picked my blue palette. Let's go with blue. I don't know, is there a logo for Paris 2024? Surely there is. Paris 2024 logo. Ah, okay. So let's go here. Do they have the actual colors? That's all right. So what I'm going to do is for the color, I'm going to actually pick it from the picture. Something like, it's a bit hard to look at on the white, but let's give it a shot. Okay, so now I'm going to throw these together in a dashboard. I'm going to delete the phone, and let's make it nice and small. And I'm going to drop in a container, set it to 00. What size did I make this? 700. Nope, 600. What color did I make this? 500 by 500. Okay. And then I'll set my inner padding to about 10. Okay, so I'm going to start with a title. So we'll call this the title. I'll come fix it later. Let's maybe make that 18. And then I want to drop in my two sheets. So believe, and then it's favor. And then in my layout, I want to get rid of all that garbage in the back. So let's remove that. Delete containers. Okay. All right, so let me go back to my workbook formatting, and I want to change my worksheet titles. Let's make those maybe 12. Okay, I think that's, yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, and then the data source is Harris Interactive. Paris 2024, okay. Let's drag in a text box. Center, let's make it gray and 8. Okay. Let's edit the height. Let's make this about 5. Okay, so I think that's good. So format workbook worksheets 9. Let's make them 10. I think that's a bit easier to look at. Okay, now I need to try to line these up, which is going to be difficult. Did I get it? I think that's about right. Okay. Now confident. confidence is declining. French confidence is declining for the Paris Games. Okay, so let's now play around with the workbook size. So let's make it maybe 600 wide. Okay, and then I'm going to, on this one, I'm going to set some outer padding at the top. I'll make it 20. And then this one at the bottom, I'll make it 20. I'm just trying to give some space between the two charts. I think those are lined up right. Oh, you know what? I could go to, oh, where's this thing? There's an option somewhere, dashboard, show grid. Okay, so you can see this is ever so slightly off. There we go. Okay, so that should be lined up now. This is a good way to make sure that everything is lined up nice and neat. I always forget about that feature. And then let's go ahead and format these axes. Let's maybe make those 9. Make them like gray. Actually, let's make them like 8. Let's make these 8. Maybe like gray. Okay, something like that. Okay, France will be fine. Gold for least negative, bronze for most negative. So you're saying adjust the colors. Let's see, how would I go about doing that? I could do it manually. So if I put on the marks card, if I put the category onto color, and then maybe what I should do is I'm going to sort the category by the field descending July 2020. Okay, so then what I could do here is I could, let's see, so what would be, I think I've got this palette might work. So I've got under 35s would be my gold, and then my over 50s would be that. Let's just see what that looks like so far. Okay, I think I need to use slightly different colors. What other color palette could I use? Olympics, here we go. Okay, so this would be gold, this one would be bronze, and then let's make these both silver. Something like that. I think that's what you mean, Steve, something like that. Probably could drop the top axis ticks. Do I have top axis ticks? I don't think I do. Format. Axis. Actually, I probably could just turn off all the axis ticks now that you mention it. So let me go up to Format Workbook. And down here in the lines, I'll turn off all of my axis ticks. Can I not just turn them off? Okay, I'll just make them opaque. Axis rulers, just make them opaque. Okay, I think that'll take care of it then. All right, so gold, okay, so let's try that, and then let's do the same thing here. So we're gonna put category on color. And we want to sort the categories by the field descending July 2023. Okay, and then let's use our Olympic color palette. Where is that? Where did I have that? Olympics, here we go. So we'll do gold, silver, silver, bronze, silver, there we go. Okay, access labels for the upper sheet on the dashboard. Oh. Yeah, the only thing, so PQ, the only thing about that is then I have to, well, yeah, I see what you mean. So those, do you think it's easy enough to kind of relate these lines together though? So PQ, what do you think about that? Is it easy enough to trace these up? I guess it probably is. And I bet you, I think I should probably make them lighter as well. I don't know. Let's see, that almost seems too light. And 0 lines. Okay, let's do that here. I guess that's okay. Super easy for you. Okay, great. Thank you, Stephen. All right, so okay, so let's edit the height of this one, and let's make this maybe 50, just to give it a bit of breathing room. And should I put, I really like putting lines in here. Let's see. So if I edit the height of this, let me make it 10. Just bear with me for a second. I'm going to set the background to gray. Let's make it 9, actually. And what do you think about that as a divider line? So we're going to make this 20, 20. Yeah, I don't like it at the top. Let's make this, let's set that back to 4. And then let's make this bold. Okay, what do you think about that? What do you think about that, that little divider line there? Do you like that? I'm just trying to, maybe I need to bring it closer there. Okay, so let me fix the size of that, and then, yeah, that should be okay. But should I also then have a line in between these two, like here? So if I make that 10, no, let's make that 9. And if I do the same thing here, let's make the background gray. And then, which gray did I use here? Yeah, so let's make this here. So what do you think about that? Having that line in the middle to break up the two charts. I think I like it. Maybe what I'll do here is on the bottom, let me make it maybe 10. And then on this one, let me make the top 10. No, I don't like that. What do you think about that divider line? So it looks like PQ and Stephen, you're the only two making comments on here. But what do you think about that? I'd be curious to hear your feedback. And I could move these out ever so slightly. Oh, that looks like crap now. Yeah. All right. Okay, so maybe I need to add a bit more padding around these. Let's make this maybe 10. At 10. I think I like that divider line because now it kind of breaks it up into sections. Can I try a dark mode version? Let me save for a while. Let me just, a dark mode version. Okay, let me save before I do anything else. So let me go back here. Let's extract the data. And I need to save it to my Makeover Monday folder. Yep, that's the right place. And then let me go here. And then 20. I think this is week 20. This one here, week 20, yep. Okay, so file, save as, package book. Make it for Monday, 2024. Oh, why did I make that week 20? So that should have been week 19. What? I bet you is this wrong? You cancel. Oh, so this should say, yeah, their data set name is wrong. This says week 20. Okay, so this should be week 21. File, save as. All right. The top chart seems like it might be a bit taller than the bottom. I think it's a bit. Oh, okay. Let me just manually edit the height then. So let's edit the height. Let's make it 225, and then let's edit the height of this one as well. Edit height. It was ever so slightly different. There you go. Okay. Is that better? PQ. Thank you. Very good eye there. The second one's okay. So the colors might pop more. Okay. So let me save, because this way I can always hit undo. So I'm going to go to my dashboard, and I'm going to format my dashboard and make this a dark background. And then let's make this white. I don't usually go strong white. I usually go with the slightly grayish look. Okay, so format. Can I set the colors? Okay. And the titles, let's make those gray as well. Okay. I probably now need to make my grid lines, make my zero lines like maybe darker, maybe something like that instead. And then let's do the same thing for the grid lines. Something like that. Okay, so let's go to grid lines. I think that's the one I chose. And then zero lines, that one. Oops. Okay, how about that? Should I make these bold? Okay, what do you think of that? What do you think of that, Stephen? What do you think of the dark mode version versus the light mode? This I probably should, let's go to the dashboard layout, and then let's set the background to something lighter, maybe even something like that, so it's not so bright. Okay, pretty cool. Both are interesting. Well, that doesn't help me, Stephen. Well, I'm here now, so we'll just go with this one. I am going to change the color though to make it white and see if it looks any better. Yeah, so I think it's slightly better with it being white. Oh, I probably should just do this in the workbook formatting. White. Watersheet titles are white. Fonts are white. Okay, there we go. But this one, it doesn't look very white. Yes, it is. Okay, love the dark mode. Less horizontal lines are better. What do you mean, Stephen? What do you mean by less horizontal lines? Do you think I should get rid of those 0 lines, or what do you mean by that? I do agree. This does look really nice. So I'm going to save that. Okay. How is the life going on? Okay, the grid lines were distracting. Oh, do you mean it's better now, Stephen? Do you like it better now with the kind of muted grid lines, or should I get rid of the grid lines altogether? I think the grid lines need to stay there. I wonder if I should, while I'm waiting for you to reply, maybe I should make these dotted. Oh, I like that better. Definitely better. Yeah, I think I like that, the dotted lines on both ways. Now, again, I could get rid of them, right? If I say none, I don't really like that. Oh no, that's not the grid lines. That's the 0 line. I think I like it with the grid lines because it kind of brings the chart together a bit more. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I am going to call it quits there. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you found this useful, and I am running a workshop. The vertical grid line are more important than muted grid lines. Is better. Okay. I am running a workshop this afternoon, so let me pull that up on my screen. So registration closes in an hour and 17 minutes. But if you go to setactions.andykrubel.com, I'm going to be running a masterclass on set actions. I ran one before. You don't have to sign up for that one, but there's all the information there. So if you go to setactions.andykrubel.com, go ahead and sign up. It's available in dollars, pounds, and euros, whichever of those currencies you use. And if you can't make it live, don't worry about it because it is recorded, and anybody that signs up before the deadline in an hour and 17 minutes will get access to that recording and all of the materials. So that is it for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will maybe see you all next week. Okay, bye.